Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't care that much about the geography and such. I'm a bottoms up stock picker. So, what I'm most concerned about is specific nuances about the business. In general, micro events will trump macro events. So, the long term return you get out of a business will usually depend on how well that business does or how poorly that business does. It won't have that much to do with what's happening with the currency and what's happening with who's running the place and who's running the country and so on. So in general, there are differences in different geographies in terms of some markets are more overvalued at certain times and others are more undervalued. So you can find more opportunities in certain places versus others based on that. So I would say in general, I find like a place like Turkey is very undervalued because of so much macro noise. Japan is undervalued because it's delivered such terrible returns for so long. Some pockets of maybe India and China might be undervalued. You can definitely find a lot of undervalued businesses right here in the US as well. And so that's fine. So you don't really need to necessarily be looking across the globe. I think the more important thing is to focus on looking at things that are within your circle of competence. So it is not necessary to be, aware of things globally. There's an investment fund in Minnesota, and I don't know if this is still their mandate, but it's called the Mayors and Powers Fund. It's a mutual fund, and their mandate was to be mostly invested in Minnesota companies. And the fund did quite well. I mean, they did really well. And if you think about, you would think that that'd be quite restrictive to be limited just to Minnesota businesses or mainly to Minnesota businesses. But less can be more. And that type of a focus allows you to get very specialized and allows you to actually know the business as well. And in their case, it's really easy for them to travel and meet the companies or be aware of the business. They might have neighbors who are employees there or consuming the products and so on. So it can give you a big edge if you are narrowly focused. One doesn't need to be very broadly focused. I think there's multiple ways to skin the cat.